Hello, I haven't done a card pull in a little bit and I thought I would pop on. There is a new moon in Taurus right now happening. I think it's actually, the energy is coming in tomorrow morning, April 29th. It's Monday, whatever Monday is. I have no sense of time right now. So before I get into the two cards I pulled from two decks that I don't normally use, that I'm not very familiar with. They're newer energies for me. I keep these decks at home, and when I do card pulls, I normally do them from my office, but I'm home today, so I'm pulling from these decks, and I feel like these are very appropriate for the times that we're in right now. So I kind of want to rewind the past few days. And by the way, if you do happen to watch these videos, I do energy updates twice a month. I do a beginning of the month energy forecast, and then in the middle of month I forecast from mid-month to the end of the month. And if you're interested in that, let me know. If you want to get my newsletters, and I post those videos through a link on YouTube, and as well as I have a sound bath coming up this Sunday, May 4th, and that will be a 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock group and a 4:30 to 5:30 group. And I think we have 1 or 2 spots left in the 3 o'clock group, and I think we have 2 or 3 spots left in the 4:30 group. Also, that will be probably the last, it might be the last sound bath until July, because in June, we're going to skip the first Sunday in June and go to the first Saturday, I think it's the first Saturday in June. June 7th will be my quarterly workshop, and we have a few spots left open for that. And there is a sound bath included in that. So I may do a sound bath the next day, but if I do one, it'll just be a small one, like one group. So if you're interested and you're watching, you're local, you are more than welcome to go to my website. The link is in my bio, and you can find through the booking link the sign up for the sound bath. All right, so we're just kind of rewinding on the past few days. For me, it's been a bit tumultuous. I had a long conversation with one of my spiritual friends today, and you know, it's like a very up and down in the moment energy, very nomadic energy, very lots of twists and turns where like things are going really well, and then all of a sudden things might shift around a little bit. So a few days ago I was feeling the energy, and I was feeling how my body was becoming a mechanism for processing what was going on in the collective. And I just suddenly around Wednesday got very lightheaded and dizzy, and I knew it wasn't something internal, meaning that there's something wrong with me. I could feel that I was processing something external, and it was really overwhelming. I literally had a hard time just keeping my stability on the ground. And so Thursday morning, I had this great, powerful workout. I was feeling so good. I came home and I was on a stool, and I heard this voice in my head that said, "Be careful." And I said, okay, I'll be careful. And I got up on the stool to get a cookbook out of the cabinet, and I carefully got down and I lifted the stool up to put it back, and somehow while I was carrying the cookbook and the stool, I somehow slipped, no idea how, and I face planted into the corner of my other counter stool, and I thought, oh wow, I'm gonna get a real bruise there. And then I looked down at my hand, and it was gushing blood, and my daughter was there, and she was freaking out, and there was this whole part of me that went into this very protective mode for my daughter, like not for myself. I was concerned for her being concerned for me, and I didn't want to cause her trauma. So I was like calming her down. I was like, just get me some ice. Please go upstairs, go get me some cypress oil. I'm going to compress. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to grab my car keys. We're going to go to urgent care. I know, and if you want to stay home, that's fine. She's like, no, I want to go with you. And so this aspect of like parenting somebody, like in my own trauma, like in my own moment. And so it was like everything froze in that moment, and we just went into survival mode and ended up getting 3 stitches in my face and thought everything was going to be fine and I'll just go back to work. And I took clients that afternoon, and then Friday it just like hit me like straight up in the face. I had not processed nurturing myself and taking this moment to pause and slow down. And so my behavior was not the greatest on Friday. My threshold and my tolerance for things that were coming at me was very, very low. My energy was very low. And I was really hit with a lot of undealt with emotion around just feeling like loved and feeling cared for. And there was a lot of that mother wound that opened up for me, and just understanding that it's okay to nurture yourself and take care of yourself, and to let go of any wounding around being loved and cared for. And sure enough, the social and the professional obligations I had, people were just so overwhelmingly warm. And even on here, like, there was just some really nice messages I wasn't expecting that poured in, and it just reminded me of how much kindness, just how much those little moments of kindness really matter. And even without a physical mother like in this world anymore, and where I'm parenting myself and I'm parenting my children, feeling that those touch points of just, you know, is there anything I can do? Can I bring you something? I'm, you know, sending you warm, healing light. That felt like having my mother. I felt that same influence of that care and that love and that attention. And it just reminded me of this time that we're in right now is so trippy. It's like things are changing so quickly, and we have one moment everything is fine, and then maybe the next moment we have something that, you know, causes us to fall out of balance. And it's really testing us to see like where we're at in our healing, and where we're at in our heart energy, and where we're at in self-love, and where we are at in self-worth, in valuing ourselves and our boundaries and our time, and saying it's okay. Like, it's okay to step aside from work for a day. It's okay to say no, which has always been such a hard thing for me. And I'm still learning that lesson. So I'm very grateful for the love the past few days. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and just the humility, and even the care that the nurse and the practitioner that sewed up my face, just, I was so grateful to them. And you know, you just forget, like, you know, how much we really need each other and rely on each other. So these 2 cards feel appropriate. I may read a little bit from the book, because again, I'm not super familiar with these cards, but I was very drawn to them when I got them. The first deck is called the Sacred Forest Oracle, and the card that I pulled from here is called Fire Spirit. And this is makes me feel a lot of the energy of this new astrological season. We're moving out of Aries. Obviously we're in Taurus. Aries is very much fire spirit. I don't read a lot on astrology. That's not my strength, but I am familiar with it. So this card is a lot about taking action and just having a little bit, taking some more like bold action in your life, and really not repressing what you feel, and not allowing yourself to be drained by others, and like meeting others' needs, and really meeting yourself, like meeting your needs and being in your energy. To break free of constraints, whether they're self-inflicted or imposed by others, and really activating your passion and giving your emotions free rein. And I feel like when I hear that, I'm hearing like go with the flow. Like, if you're feeling like there's going to be a lot of creativity that comes in this month, by the way. I'm already feeling that going into May. With the flowers blooming and the grass getting green. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of moments of just sudden random inspiration. So take your time to be alone, and to do what that is, and not feel that you have to stay in the mundane, the obligation. Sometimes we get so constrained by responsibility that we forget about our soul and feeding our soul and getting in touch with our passion. So allowing Creator to move through you and be open to receive, knowing that you don't have to do it all yourself. So we are, all of us, connected. We have antennas. We're connected to the divine, to God, to Creator. You can find your own way to connect in through nature, through walking outside, through meditating, activating in the sun. There's all kinds of ways, right? It's different for all of us. Some people are really athletic outside. Sometimes just getting your body moving is a way to connect in with Creator, and then allowing those spontaneous downloads to come through. So this, there's like an oracle message in here, and then this is really about incredible vitality, life force, energy, and passion are expanding in your life. So if you start to feel drained by the expectations of others, don't hold back. Ignite your inner fire, speak your truth, and let the light of the Creator surge through you. A lot of us, by the way, are all being activated through the energies of March. Was a very heavy month energetically, as we moved into April, we're starting, as the month has been progressing, like starting to feel into some of those activations. And now as we are coming out of April into May, we're going to see more of the fruition. So there's like downloads, like a lot of downtime and downloads and heaviness in March. April, we kind of lifted up a little bit more. Things became a little bit lighter, but not necessarily, we don't really have the knowledge to know what to do with a lot of these downloads. And I feel like as we go into May, we're going to start to feel that free reign, that even looser. It's almost like the gravity and the groundedness of Taurus astrologically gives us that foundation to feel safe exploring our inner creativity. All right, the last card comes from this deck by Kyle Gray. Really like him. He's like a specialist in angels, and he has lots of decks. This is the only one I have from him. It's called Angels and Ancestors, and this is kind of a very shamanic deck. That's a feeling that I have with this deck. This card is called Traveler, and it's about move in a new direction. Okay, and when I read this card resembles welcome any opportunities to travel, either to the outer world or to your inner worlds, meaning like journeying inside, meditating, going into your higher self, feeling the feelings that come up. So this card really represents the gypsy spirit within. And even as I read it, I want to like move my body. I want to flow. I feel the excitement in this card. I feel the desire to travel just holding this card. And this card is also about physical travel and activating through different places that may inspire you. So there may be some travel opportunities coming up for some of you that are watching or listening to this. So going on a trip can be an exciting process, because not only do you learn about yourself, you learn about the world, you learn about yourself, and every place that you go to has an energetic signature. Both you leave yours there and you receive the energetic signature of others that have traveled through that space, and you pick up on that soul imprint that leaves an imprint on your soul, and that really helps to activate you, which is why a lot of people like traveling and they come back feeling really inspired. Sometimes they say, I feel really sad being home. I wish I was back in Bali or London or Istanbul or whatever it is on this earth. So just give that some thought. There might be some travel coming up for some of you watching this. And it's also about like the journey within, and sometimes it can feel quite lonely. So we're never alone. We're always here guided by angels, God, Creator, or our care team, whatever you identify with. And sometimes some of us are being removed or feeling quite removed, maybe quite distant, maybe from social situations or friend groups or connections right now, because it's time for us to do a little bit of discovery within. So this could also represent that sort of the path not taken, just the road less traveled is what I'm hearing. So you may be going off, like branching off in a different direction, like traveling away, whether in the workplace, maybe you're doing a project, like pulling away from a group, or maybe if on your own, you're pulling away from some social time and doing some more self-discovery. I keep hearing like the road less traveled. So for some of you, this card could also symbolize like doing that kind of self-investigation, around this time, and having the confidence to do that. So interesting, because it literally says, I'm not kidding, on the sign it says, the road you are on may be the road less traveled. Okay, well, there we go. There's that validation. It says, remember to keep things simple and to lighten your load, because that will make your journey more enjoyable. You are also being encouraged to see how far you've come and how you've really grown as a person, because this recognition will support you and go in and going even further. And there's a good chance that along the way you'll make new friends who become companions for a lifetime. So in that trust and traveling, you will meet like-minded souls who will also join you in your expansion, and you will join in theirs. And that will lead to some really wonderful lifetime connections for some of you. So thank you for listening. This was a little longer than I expected. I haven't done one of these in a while. I hope you enjoy this. And again, if you want to join Sound Bath this Sunday, May 4th, we're still spots open for 3 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. And then soon I will post about the June 7th workshop. I only do those 4 times a year, and both of those signups can be found in my bio, the link to my website where you book. You will find a flyer and you will find a link to sign up. So thanks for listening.